Hello everyone and welcome to Allen Tech. Today we're going to be putting this pick guard on this guitar. Okay, so this is a little project I've decided to take up, and also I am by no means an expert on this. This is one of the times you'll hear me say take everything that I do with a grain of salt. This is really just a build log along with me to see if I actually can do this. I've looked up other videos, and if I can find them I'll put them in the description, but they didn't seem that good to me. And also, I didn't really want to pay to have this done because it can be quite expensive to have just something that seems very simple done. So I'm going to be putting a pick guard into this one because most of these pickups don't work. The top two really don't work at all. One of them works if you hold the button up, and the bottom humbucker here, you have to you have to just tap it just right to make it kind of come on. And this is a Rogue ST4, and this is by Squire, which is kind of an offshoot brand of Fender, which makes the original Strat. And let's be honest, you're not going to get your money's back putting stuff into this. I spent $40 for the pick guard about around, so you're never going to get your money back for one of these things. But it was my first guitar, and I'm kind of recently picked up learning the guitar again, so I'd really like to get it working again and play on it. I have a Schecter C1 that my dad is letting me borrow, but I just kind of want this one, so I always have one of my own. And we're going to see how it works and gets on. So I'm going to cut... Oh, let me get the... let me show you what we're putting on it. So the pick guard I got came on this little plate, and the first one I got was broken, so before I'm like impatient, but I actually ordered this one, and it's kind of a pearl, which I actually turned out to like better. So that's what it looks like behind. There is the 3 wires that we are going to have to wire, so we're going to see how this does. So I'm going to start taking the strings off, and then I'm going to put the camera up on the bench so we can see about taking it off. I'm expecting it to be quite dirty. This is an early 2001 guitar, and this is going to be quite messy. So also I'm going to do a before and after sound test. I'm going to try to get that bottom humbucker working. Thank you all, and I'll see y'all in a minute. Alright, so I think I've got it working. I'll try to get the sound linked up correctly, so if it's a little bit off, it's my first time doing this. I have a Behringer V108 hooked up for this guitar. Everything is set to 5. All the settings are set to normal, no gain for this first one. I'm very early learner, so I'll probably just do some chords that I know, maybe try to strum them a little bit, and then hit each string so you can kind of hear. As far as I know, the guitar is tuned. Just ran it through my tuner on my phone, so that should be varying degrees of good or bad. So let's see what we get. Everything is turned up to 10 on the guitar, and it's very low output even after moving the guard around, so let's see what we can do. That's all the strings. Do an E. honest, it doesn't even sound right. I hope it's coming across on the microphone. I'm using my Pile PD Mic 58 for this as well. So, go down to an A. So, yeah, it's just something ain't right there. And an E minor, I believe it is. Nope, that's too many strings. Yeah, it's just, there's something just not quite right about that. So, and like I said, this is the only pickup that works, which is that bottom humbucker. So, let's put on some gain now, and I will play you the only riff that I know how, and I'm sure everybody's tired of, but if you want to listen, here it is. I'm very new, so sorry. Yep, so that's it with like a little bit of gain on the channel. Like I said, everything's at 5, including the overdrive on the amp, so that's what it sounds like. It's terrible. I'm hoping the new one will be much better. If nothing else, the top 2 should work, so let's get to it, getting this thing apart, taking the strings off. These strings are almost new, but I've got a brand new set, so I'm probably going to throw those on unless I can salvage these, so let's see what we got. Okay, so I thought I'd show you kind of the things that you'll need. You may need some other tools depending on what you have going on. I got this with it too, so I'm probably going to use it because I expect everything to be rusted in there. A good flathead screwdriver we'll probably need for prying. Also a smaller kind of Phillips head screwdriver. You may need several sizes. I think my guitar is fine. And this is for crimping the wires. And then for the solder, I'm using kind of a cheaper Ryzen core, I think is how you say it, solder. And then I have a soldering iron, which is warming up here for us. So I'm fixing to put the guitar down. I'm going to hang the neck off the back so that it'll be alright. And then I'm going to take the strings off and then meet y'all back whenever I get done with that. So, be right back. Also, I forgot to mention I do have one of these, which is a little fire extinguisher for small fires. Rated for just about everything household, including electrical. These things are really cheap, and I really suggest at least getting one just for your house in general. So, because I think this one was $13, and it can put out a fire if you were so to have one. So, a good thing to have. Okay, so I managed to get the strings off. I'm just going to leave them in place because I plan on reusing them. So for now they're just kind of hanging off to the side. And I'm going to start by taking out the jack. I don't have a proper wrench to do this, so I just kind of use this and get in on the sides of it. And all I'm doing is just undoing this. This is not a stock nut. This is one I had to find from a shop, because the stock one is nowhere to be found. Okay. So, as expected, quite nasty in there. I don't know if y'all can see that up there. So that's about what I was expecting. So got that loose. So now we're going to move on to the pick guard ones. And before I do that, in case these get dislodged, there's a little that shows the wire in there. So I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of that, just so I know where those two should go. There we go. So that way I know where those go whenever I start soldering back. So just kind of treating it like a car, essentially. Make sure we know where things need to go. really stuck in there too. See if I can scoot this down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. I wish I had an overhead camera, but I don't, so. Fast forward screwing job. Okay, so we're on the last screw, I believe. We'll see what it looks like under this thing. So it is actually not as bad as I was expecting. Yeah, man, they were really rough with this guitar. Feels like they didn't care too much at all. So I'll compare the new with the old here. And yeah, I'm already liking what I see. So it looks like we have a better switch going on here. I can get this one down a little bit more. Yeah, it looks like we got a better switch than that, and that one's kind of rusted, it looks like. Pots and capacitors are a whole lot bigger. That one looks corroded a little bit. Pickups definitely look a lot better. These are made kind of to look like those alkline that they use in fenders, but these are just ceramics, so don't be fooled. They kind of got that little V shape that the I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but the Alcon picks do. Alcone, something like that. So yeah, let's figure out where to clip this thing for the best results. So I'm going to clip right near here and keep as much as I can in case I need to reuse these wires for any reason. Well, that one just came right off. It didn't. Well, maybe. There we go. So, in case I need to reuse any of these parts or wires. And so, let me clip. This one may just come off. Actually, gonna do a little work with it. Oh, well, I don't even have to take that one off, so. Clip it as close as I can. So I may just get to use those, and yeah, not as bad as I was thinking, but still pretty gross. So we'll keep it around in case we need any parts from it, but I'm really liking the other one compared to this, so. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so actually this is gonna have to come off, and I should have remembered this because I looked it up, and there's actually a ground wire that goes to this tremolo claw back here. So, if I would have thought about it, I would have got a pearl back guard as well, but I did not, so. I really wish I could find some screws, but the only ones I could find were not that good, so a little fast forward here. Okay, so a little more rust, as expected. So I'm actually going to use the guard over here to keep the screws for it nice and neat. Have my new input jack I'm getting right quick. Oh! So right here is where our ground for the tremolo comes. So I need to make sure to ground that. And it looks like I might have some solder there that I can use for the new one. Let's see if I can get the whole thing. I kinda can. So take that whole wire off. We'll keep it over here in case we do need it again. So this will probably be the one we do last. So let's flip her back over. Well, it's not as dirty as I expected, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time cleaning it up. So we will start with what we need to do. So let's get our new pick guard here. We need a power wire and one of our grounds to be fed through this loop. And I actually like what this one has done, because instead of just having one wire, it has two independent wires going. So let's strip some more of this down here. Okay, so now actually begins the fun. And that is the soldering iron, which I have a history of burning myself, so this should be fun. I'll go ahead and get some solder out of this little handy dandy thing, which is very nice. I like it a lot. Gonna let you have some ready to go. So what we're going to do now is something called tinning. I'm just going to kind of get it warm. Okay. And we don't want to blow too much on this. So okay. So like I say, I'm not the best solderer. Never claimed to be, never will be, so, but super pro here at Allen Tech. Like I say, we'll do the tremolo one last, because it's just kind of sucked through. So now I'm going to refer to my picture, which shows the big one with the black ground wire and a white one. Okay, so I got it zoomed in a little bit here. Oh, looked out on that one. I'll try to show y'all what I'm doing here. Just trying to melt this. I put a little ball on there. Give it a little tug. Seems like it's pretty good, so we'll move on to the next one. I lucked out because I pulled enough of this through that I can kind of make a U whenever I'm putting this on. So let's try this one now. Maybe it'll go a little nicer. I'm using a very cheap soldering iron, so that could possibly be part of my problems. Okay. That one seemed to work a little bit better now that I kind of know how this particular wire is going to go. So, let's see. Give it a little tug. Seems like it's doing okay. Yeah, so we'll let that cool for a second and then we'll start on putting this pick guard in. Okay, so we've been cooling for a minute. We can now tug on this and it doesn't move. My terrible soldering job, but hopefully it'll get the job done. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, so we have something to keep it in place. Okay, I'll get that nice and tight. We can kind of pull it through, so we have as much space as possible. So, as once again, I want to remind everybody I am by no means a professional at this, and this is just to see if I can do this without much knowledge of it. So I'm going to go ahead and thread our tremolo ground kind of through. Get it in between those springs. There we go, I think. Yeah. So we'll pull that through. So our screw holes don't even closely line up. So I'm going to have to go get a drill bit and drill out those holes. So I'll be right back. So add power drill to the things you might need. So yeah, I knew it was going to need some probably. But I was hoping that I could get enough of it on there just to get it going and show y'all, but literally none of the screw holes. This one over here in the corner is the only one that remotely even lines up, so. Okay, well they all went in, just finishing up these right now. And then I'll flip this over and do that one ground in the back. And we should be ready to see if it's going to play or not. We're going to need a lot of cleanup, but we shall see. Okay. Let's flip her over. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, do not blow on your solder. I found this out one time wiring a tail light for a sequential tail light for a Mustang. It does not work very well at all. So, like if you blow on it, it'll crack, and then it's like not very good at all. So. Maybe not. Yeah, this one's going to be testing all of my skills, I think. Yeah, I sure do wish that would just kind of clamp on there. Okay. It looks terrible, but if it works, I guess it's not going to matter too much. So we'll let that cool a second and then see if it's going to work or not. Yeah, we're pretty sturdy there, so should be okay to go. So I'm going to wrap and button this up, and actually I'm going to turn it over and see if it even plays right quick. So. Okay, so I'm fixing to turn the amp on and see if we either have a new working pick guard or we have a giant flaming mess that I have to put out with a fire extinguisher. So, here we go. Let's see if we can get any sound. Oh. The humbucker's working. Middle's working. And that one's working. Sweet! So they're all working. So we're pretty much done. I'm going to get this together and see if it makes sound like it should. So be right back after I get the strings on. Okay, so I got everything kind of buttoned up, put the back plate back on. That's pretty self-explanatory. And it's doing pretty good, I think. You'll see it now in the guitar in all its glory. I've roughly cleaned this up. I need to get some polish and everything and do it properly. And maybe to get a new guard for that, but all the pickups work. It's not really getting hot or anything, so I don't think I've messed up any wiring, as I can tell. So, and I really hope this comes through. It seems to be fairly clear, so. Okay, let's do a chord. Now this is the humbucker, so this would be the same position as the previous one. It's a C, then an E, yeah, it's so much clearer. I really hope y'all are getting this. needs a good setup thrown on it before it's going to be worth a darn, because there's still some fretwork and stuff that needs to be done. But so we'll do a C on all the pickups and see how it goes. And then an E. It's E minor, I think, actually. And then the top pickup here, the neck pickup. Let's do another C on that. And then an E. Okay, so yeah, it's going pretty good. Just like I did with the other one. So yeah. I suck. Not even gonna say that I don't. Like I said, I'm still learning, but this is sounding great. That one might actually need to be backed off just a bit, but getting some feedback now. Getting some feedback from the last two. So, yeah, it seems pretty nice. Once again, these are a Guitar Fetish product. Link in the description if you want it. Not sponsored in any way. That's how it sounds. Just the comparison will be in a video next week for anybody that just wants a comparison. This is a loaded pickguard from Guitar Fetish. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps. And if you think somebody would like this also, please share. Once again, this is not a complete how-to. It's just seeing if somebody with very little skill can actually do this, as Guitar Fetish says they can. And it turns out, at least I can, so hope y'all have as good a luck as I do if you're doing this. Have any questions, comments? Tell me what I did wrong. I'm sure there's a lot. I'm sure there's a whole lot I did wrong, especially with the soldering part. So I may be soldering this thing in a week or two. But alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.